Hello, everyone, and welcome, welcome to the Wonder Mama Coffee Chat. I am so happy that you have decided to join us today. As you can see, I have a very special guest on screen with me. Each week, I sit down with incredible people who are intentionally bringing good into the world. This week, no different. Not only into the world, but into motherhood and entrepreneur and into the lives of the people around them. We talk about things that are important. And after about 30 minutes with you here live, we drop into a private conversation inside the Wonder Mama place, my motherhood, my Wonder Mama private community. So if you're a member, jump in and stay with us and have that conversation. If you're not a member yet, the door is always open. So today's guest, you see her. This is Tara Yaffe. She is a triple certified international business and communications coach. She's so much more than that. She has more than 20 years of coaching experience and decades of success, both corporate and in corporate and entrepreneurial roles. She has guided hundreds of clients through self-limiting beliefs, career pivots, life transition, and she knows what it means to face failure and come back stronger. Reinvention has not just been part of her work, it's been part of the foundation of her entire life. Terry is 83 and she is still building. As a matter of fact, when our private conversation was going on, she let me know, she just added some new certifications. What? She's amazing. So today we're talking about how to stop letting our stories tell us how to run run the show, and what it actually looks to live. I cannot speak. This is going to be fun. What it actually looks like to live with purpose at every single stage of your life. So, Terry, please save me from my mouth and welcome to the Wonder Mama Coffee Chat. And I am so glad you're here today.
Oh my God, Leon, this is so amazing. We had a private conversation and I love this woman. We just connected, truly. First, I think it was her name, Leon. My granddaughter is studying in Lyon, France. Right off the bat, there was a connection. I am so honored to be here and to share this time with you and your audience.
Thank you so much. So same, this is just a total love fest. You and I are together in a networking group called Connected Leaders Academy. I joined back in September. How long have you been in Connected Leaders?
Since a year ago, April.
A year ago, April. So I was already a little bit of a fangirl because through the International Coaching Federation, ICF, I'd seen your name in my region, in our way of coaching. And so when I saw you in the CLA, I was a little, wow, look who's here. And I'm so glad that we actually did finally sit down and have a conversation that felt like home. And I really appreciated that. But I have a couple of prepared questions, but today I just really want us to flow into before we were talking, just about, kind of mentoring growing up and parenting and loving and rearing children. But before I do that, you're 83 years old and still coaching, still building yourself, still showing up. And I think I definitely want to be that too. I have no plan in ever stopping. But what do you think? At what stage do people think that they're done? And what do you want to say to them?
So I did a talk and I said at 83, most people have retired. They're golfing, they're pickleballing, and that's great. Or they're in a home, or they've passed away.
Hmm.
For me, I feel really fortunate that even though it's an age, it's just a number. And I think people get caught up in the norms of life. I never followed them. Most people in my generation got married in their 20s. They had 2.5 kids. They
I
built
don't know
to
about that. Half a kid. Sorry.
built to retiring at 65 or maybe today older. I never did any of that. I got married at 40. I started my coaching at 60. I did my certifications by 62. I did a podcast at 78. And I just completed an amazing course on the neuroscience of relational trauma because I grew up with that and passed and got another certification, which I didn't really care about. I tell people, what do you want from your life? Everyone wants something different.
Yeah.
I was an ordinary, unhappy, unworthy, unlovable. I felt that way.
I was like, who says?
Person.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
how I felt.
Mhm.
And something inside of me made me keep going. It showed me the way for analysis to heal, to do spiritual work, to keep going. And I think it's a feeling that you want to have because I say you're never too old or you're never too late to do what you want to do. Who tells you you got to stop at 65, 70, 85, 90? One of my icons, I don't know if anyone knows her, is Iris Apfel. Iris Apfel,
Okay.
she was a icon who wore the lots of bracelets and the big glasses. They did a whole exhibit at the museums, the Costume Institute at the Met. She died at 102, still kicking and connecting and loved younger people. She's my role model, truly.
I love that. Yeah.
And people say to me, you had such a stellar career. Why do you want to go into coaching? There are so many coaches out there. Why do you want to be a coach? I didn't listen to any of them. And then when I started my podcast at 78, what? There are so many podcasts. What are you going to do? It's in the top 1.5% globally, as per Listen Notes. So the first thing is, I don't listen to others. My heart guides me. I'm not ready to hang up my certifications, my shingle, or anything.
Yeah.
And I think it's an individual understanding that you come to with yourself of who do you want to be? What do you want to be?
Yeah.
And everyone makes that decision.
You know, Terry, this is why we're going to be just doing live the rest of our lives together, because this weekend I had the opportunity to actually do a talk as well, and this is exactly the topic. Because when in our culture, in our society, especially here in the US, we're given a roadmap of how we're supposed to live our lives, right? We go to school, we go to high school, we go to college, we get a job, we get married, that 2.5, boy, that poor half kid. And then we work and we contribute to the company that we work for, and we have a pension. And then the smartest, most learned, most prepared for life people retire. And they've been dreaming about retiring and they travel. And I know this part of the people because for the last 8 years of my corporate career, I managed a volunteer program. And the majority of my direct reports were volunteers who came in because they needed purpose, because they had followed that map. And and just as I'm saying it, that may have been the catalyst for me because I wanted nothing to do with that. These were the most incredible people who no longer felt relevant, like they had anything to offer because they had followed the map that our society gives them,
Right.
and there's no plan for after retirement.
Right.
Is there?
Nope, there isn't
Nope.
any. And
Mm-mm.
just to, from what I've read statistically, people that retire within a few years die.
Right. So you are vibrant and glowing and kicking it because you still have more to give. You're still creating and ideating and moving and producing and learning yourself. So your cup is full, you pour a little of it out to other people and you fill it back up still. And that's why you're going to be just like your idol.
Mm, gosh.
I have no doubt. I have no
Mm,
doubt.
yeah.
But I think that is also the heart of an entrepreneur is that path because there is an end there. 65, what? All of a sudden let's be an elder. Let's go. Let's roll into that because that is the group of people with so much knowledge, so much to give. Anyway,
That's
soapbox,
so
but I
true.
just talked about that.
No,
Yeah.
yes. And I did the CLA called Awaken back in September of last
Mm,
year. And mine was, how do you do it? How do you go from being somewhat broken to being unstoppable?
mm,
And I talked about my life and how I grew up and the pain and the depression that I opened a cutlery drawer and saw a knife and looked at it and had an image, a very brief one, of maybe that's the answer.
mm.
And obviously, no, I
No.
felt I needed help. And the universe always provides. I had a friend that was in therapy. I had never heard of it. I got introduced to her psychoanalyst, and I committed to 7 years, 3 times a week, to healing. And I remember thinking nobody was coming to save me and no one was coming to help me. I had to do this work. And I did
Yeah.
it for 7 years, 3 times a week. And then I went on to spirituality and went to a retreat, a Buddhist retreat. And I've done many modalities. And, through coaching, and then I had several businesses. I left the corporate world and started my own rep company. My husband had actually really pushed me to do that. And I was
What
really
kind of
successful.
company? Sorry.
I was in advertising sales.
Okay.
I
Yes.
wound up in advertising sales and spent quite a number of years being highly successful when I had no idea that I could even do sales. From that, I segued to my own business to being a hired gun. So being a salesperson for anyone that wanted to hire a salesperson.
Mm-hmm.
And then when that landscape changed, had no idea what I was going to do. I thought I'd go back to school and become a therapist because that was my passion.
Sure.
Obviously, understanding my own mind, my own psyche, and it's all the same. Everyone's got the same mind. Its job is exactly the same for everybody. It's about keeping you safe. That's it. Instead, I found coaching. Coaching and I found each other
Yes.
22 years ago, and
I
went
love it.
through at 60, not only the coaching program, that wasn't enough. I went on for certification, and I got several.
Yeah.
And as I've changed, so has my coaching. I
Yeah.
don't think you can say stagnant. And as you evolve, as you reinvent yourself, and reinvention's a mindset. It's not how you look. It's a mindset. And coaching and I found each other. And I've shifted over the years. The more I've learned, the more I've reinvented myself. I've allowed my psyche and me to expand, the more I learned to coach different ways. Again, you can't be a 22-year coach and be stagnant on
No,
how you coach.
you can't be a 1-year coach. You have to keep learning and growing. I think that's one of the things, and it sounds like it's similar to you, but I do want to know your coaching story, but want to stop and say that's one of the things that was most attractive to me was the permission to be a forever learner when I became a coach. Because coaching found me too. I would love to hear the moment when you knew it was coaching and not therapy, because I had the same kind of situation.
And it was interesting because during my first part of the coaching, they do a fundamentals, which gives you an overview, and then you can take a program to become certified. I was doing the therapy part, which was not, and I found myself in a trap of spending so many years with a therapist and understanding more than most people about the human mind.
Mhm.
And I had to make a 3/4 shift, not a
Yes.
whole shift, a
No.
3/4 shift
Yeah. Yeah.
into becoming a coach. And today, years later, my coaching is about coaching from the inside out, not outside, because nothing happens on the outside. To have people understand the ego, the mind, how it runs us, that we are the servant, not the master,
Mhm.
and how to start shifting away and make you the master and the coach the servant, which is a very, very difficult process for people to understand because we're out of alignment.
Yeah.
And the job of the mind is to keep us safe. It doesn't want us to grow, to expand. There's fear around that. So if you're going for a new job, you will probably hear, what are you doing that for? You know you'll fail. Stay where you are. It's comfortable, blah, blah. And people listen to that fear, to that voice, not understanding it's undermining us
Mhm.
on who we can become.
Yeah. I Woo. Okay.
I
So
know that's pretty
yes,
heavy.
it's so the way I discuss that with my clients is our inner voice.
Right.
I'll give you
Right.
I'll give you my philosophy on that. Our inner voice, that's that same voice, like, right, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
Definitely loves you, only knows the past, and the only role that it plays in your life is to keep you safe. Exactly the same. I didn't recognize that that was the voice as possibly just fear. I recognized that voice as possibly the truth until I named her. So my inner voice, her name is Maggie. And when she says, "What are you doing? That's terrifying. That's not good." I'll say, "You know what, Maggie, you're right. Thank you so much. It is a little bit scary, but I got this." And she goes, "Well, okay." And that changed the relationship. And that's what I coach with the inner voice.
Right. Exactly.
But what you're saying is that if we can't build that inner compass, that directional force field inside of us, and not many coaches, that's not true. Many coaches work from the outside in, and it doesn't work. This work is in, yes, many coaches do. And if you are not working on your inner fitness, regulating that relationship and the connection, everything out on the outside will be difficult. So I want to be just like you, Terry, when I grow up.
It's it is difficult because
Yeah.
people think that's part of who they are.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's that inner voice
Yeah.
that can help us on many levels
Yeah.
and yet hold us back on many levels.
100%.
And I started understanding that when I went through psychoanalysis, when I started to deep dive into, or not into, but that piece of machinery behind my eyes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because everything I saw as a young person, I took to believe because we don't know any better. I was
Yeah.
never not worthy. I was never not capable. I was never not loved. However, that's what I perceived, limiting beliefs growing up, and they stay with you. So
And
you
they feel
never grow.
true. And they feel true.
Yes, oh,
Yes.
absolutely, they do.
Yes. So
Um,
true.
and yet, when I coach people, it's never about the business. The business is an inanimate object. It's how you come to the business. How do you come to life? And it's always a mirror of inner and outer. And it's so fascinating for me because that's really now how I deep dive with myself
Yes.
into
Yes.
understanding all of this and who we can become. And I think as a child, I was an ordinary kid, not even. I didn't fit in. I was never chosen. It was heartbreaking. But somewhere along the way, I know I had a guardian angel
For
that
sure.
said, this isn't where you're staying. And I chose to do the work to go from whatever ordinary means, fitting into the background, fitting into the story, to
Mm-hmm.
truly, for me, becoming extraordinary. Because if I look back and I see where I've come today, what I've accomplished, what I've done, back then, that might have been the dream. But in my heart, it was never going to happen. And that there was a part of me that knew it was.
Right.
And I worked towards that. This may sound, I don't know, corny. Oh, I can't do that. Yes, you can. If I could do it with what I lived with, a narcissistic mother, and how I had to deal with that, to growing up feeling unloved with every relationship, to not feeling I belonged anywhere, to going through all of that, to becoming the person I always envisioned. And
And
having
still
life,
becoming that person at 83.
age I don't even look at, that's not even
No,
a number. So
that's
if
why
you
I asked you, should I even say it? Because
sure,
it doesn't
people
seem
ask me all
important.
the time.
It doesn't seem important, but it is.
It is
Yes.
because
Yes.
get out of your head, oh, I'm 65, I'm 70, I'm 75. If you keep that going, the mind is going to keep it going. If you say, throw caution to the wind and say, this is what I want for me. I am going to be my own leader and lead my life the way I want to lead it, not the way anyone else wants me to lead it.
I love it. Okay, we have 4 minutes left, and I
Oh,
have a really heavy question. I know, but just for the live, because we're going to continue this conversation on the inside. But I have a question, and I feel like it needs to be asked. I could be pot stirring, but all right. So a lot of times people will come that need to do this work, right? They're on the outside. They're like, I've read every business book there is, every leadership book there is. I just can't get anywhere. And I go to church. I am a faithful person and I just can't get anywhere. And I want to scream from the top going, God loves you. You are smart, but if you don't do that inside work, it's all just beautiful, shiny objects on the outside.
exactly.
Would you agree?
100%. 100%. Absolutely. And that's the truth. They look at books, well, they absorb it into their mind, which is going to kind of mix it up and spew out what's going to keep you safe. You can't, and this is I don't know, kind of a yes for coaching. You can't do it yourself. You cannot see. The mind will not let you see, and it will manipulate you. So it's a yay for people like us who understand, because people want easy. I did a talk
Right.
about this. Well, there's
Yeah.
no easy. You
No.
want it all, but you want easy.
You have to do the work and you have to sit with somebody who is willing to hold space while you do it and hold the flashlight and the mirror going, you see that? Have you worked? You ready? You ready? I'm going to ask you questions. I think you know all the answers, but I'm going to help you walk through it because we don't help people, we guide people
Right,
through
exactly.
their own navigating their own
Journey.
selves.
Right.
Coaches
Right.
don't change people. We offer new pathways that are already there.
Right. Absolutely. They are already there. The thing is, you're not willing to open the door.
No. Wow. So obviously we could talk
Oh,
about 500 more things. But we have reached the end of our live stream. Didn't that go fast?
very, my goodness.
Yes. So for those of you who are watching us live on Facebook, thank you so much for being here. If you didn't catch the whole thing, watch the replay or follow us on the YouTube channel, The Wonder Mama Place Videos. Catch the podcast, which is an audio podcast. There are so many more things, but more than anything, if you don't know Terry Yaffe, find her, follow her, Google her, look this woman up. She is a woman to follow. And
Thank you.
I will see you next week, where I have a gentleman, Neil Balbula. Neil, don't be mad at me if I didn't say it right, visiting me, and it's going to be a really cool conversation with an inventor. So I will see you then, and we are going to sign off the live. And those of you who are in here with us, see you in a minute.